Is it similar to humans or different? Let's find out. Look at that tiger. Reproduction is the biological process by which the adult tiger produces their offspring. What happens if the tiger doesn't reproduce? Slowly, the tiger will age and die. Their population will diminish and they will become extinct. Thus, reproduction is essential for the continuation of the species of the tiger and other animals. What about plants? Do they also reproduce? Yes. Even plants reproduce through different modes to produce their own kind. Reproduction in plants occurs in two ways: asexually and sexually. Plants reproduce asexually without the production of seeds. Let's know about the types of asexual reproduction. Bryophyllum reproduces through budding, in which buds are produced on leaves from which the new plant develops when they get unattached from the plant. Fragmentation is observed in plants like moss spirogyra, in which fragments of plants leads to the generation of new plants. Plants like fern reproduce asexually through spore formation. The spores get released and travel long distances. Under favorable conditions, the spores germinate and develop into new individuals. Vegetative propagation is an asexual method of reproduction in which the new plants are produced from different parts. Strawberries are propagated through vegetative propagation. Water hyacinth also propagates asexually through the stem. Sweet potato propagates through modified roots called tubers, and bryophyllum undergoes vegetative reproduction through leaves. You might have seen that most plants bear flowers. Flowers are the reproductive parts of plants. Look at this hibiscus flower. Stamen, which is the male reproductive part of a flower, is made of anther and filament. Male gametes are produced by pollen grains on anther. Pistil is the female part of a flower that consists of stigma, style, and ovary. The ovary consists of one or more ovules that form eggs or female gametes. Pollination is the transfer of pollen from the anther to the stigma of a flower, which leads to the fusion of male and female gametes. As a result, a zygote is formed. The process of fusion of gametes is called fertilization. The zygote develops into an embryo. The ovary grows into fruits after fertilization, and the fruit is ripened in the ovary. Seeds develop from the ovules and contain an embryo that is enclosed inside a seed coat. Seeds are dispersed to different places which grow into new plants. So now we know that in sexual reproduction, new plants are obtained from the seeds. Just like plants, animals also reproduce sexually and asexually. Frogs reproduce sexually. Come, let's find out how they reproduce. Reproduction in frogs begins when the male and female frogs come together in the water. The fusion of sperm and ovum initiates reproduction. The sperm comes in contact with the egg and fuses with it. This is called fertilization. The nuclei of the sperm and the egg fuses to form fertilized eggs or zygotes. The fertilization occurs outside the female body. This is called external fertilization. The embryos continue to grow inside the egg till it forms tadpoles. The tadpole develops and with time grows into a frog through metamorphosis. In humans, fertilization occurs internally. Internal fertilization occurs, after which the zygote divides repeatedly and hard protective layers are formed around it. The embryo develops internally. Internal fertilization happens in animals like hens, cats, dogs, etc. Some small and microscopic animals like hydra and amoeba reproduce asexually. Let's find out how they reproduce. In hydra, the new individual develops as an outgrowth from a single parent from one or more bulges. This is called budding. Amoeba, which are single-celled organisms, also reproduce through the asexual mode of reproduction. The parent amoeba initiates reproduction by dividing its nucleus into two nuclei. This is called nuclear division. The body of the parent amoeba also divides into two, and each part receives a nucleus. Thus, two daughter amoeba are produced from one parent amoeba. This method of reproduction, in which an animal reproduces by dividing into two individuals, is called binary fission. There are other asexual modes of reproduction also in animals. We will learn about them later. For now, hope you have understood the different modes of reproduction. Let's summarize. Reproduction is the biological process by which